my goodness, Coach, I loved your strategy tonight. It's totally different. You know, you don't have your best inside player, so you got to totally change how
you know, and the fact of the matter is really, when you want to go back to, we're missing 3 out of our top 8 or 9 guys.
I know.
And obviously our best player, you take 14 and 10 out of that, we struggle on the glass. Now in the second half, we competed on the glass.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like I told the guys, compete like that in the first half, like we did in second, you win the game. Yeah. But we had balls hit us in the hand. Yeah. We just did things that are uncharacteristic. It's just like, do you believe or not? Because I've done this enough to know, and I know what it looks like when a team believes. Well, we saw it in the second half.
Yeah.
We saw what that looks like. But the first half was, you know, just questioning. And obviously we had to play a little differently, play slower, and we look way different without Loudon in there because we put more pressure on the defense, you know, because those bigs have to get out and guard. And it's just a tough thing. It's a tough balance as a coach because I am not interested in being happy with losing a basketball game. I have no interest in that, and I don't want to coach anybody that is. No. But it's still commendable how hard our kids are playing.
Yes.
But we're in a lot of close games, and we're not winning them, and we've got to get that figured out. That has to change for us, and we have to start believing. I'm back to the same point where I was last year, where you know you think you got to convince the guys you're not as good as you are. I've got to convince these guys they're better than they're playing, and they are.
No, you're right.
And my frustration is I believe in them more than they believe in themselves, and so that's the challenge for me. You know, how do I challenge them and say, hey, are we going to be? If we're happy with this, you don't belong here. But at the same point, let me commend you at how hard you're playing, how well we're practicing every day. We're having great practices. I mean, I'm blown away by it. I love these kids. They're playing hard. They're fighting. It'll pay off for us if they just keep doing what they're doing.
I absolutely agree with you. It definitely is going to pay off because the first half we just couldn't make an outside shot. I mean, we had great looks.
Unbelievable, Coach. Yes. And again, I go back to, do you believe? Because when you believe, like you saw in the second half what it looks like, when you believe, those shots go in. They go in. I've coached enough teams to know what it looks like.
I can't say enough, Coach, about Parker Ernsthausen because I thought like I said on the radio, it's one thing to have a strategy. It's another thing for your kids to buy into it because it was totally different tonight what you did using Parker out there, and he did a marvelous job.
Yeah. We were hard to guard. They were switching a lot of stuff, but they weren't used to that. You know, we were tough on their defense, and I think he would say that we really stretched them in terms of, because they did a lot of stuff tonight that I haven't seen on film in terms of how they tried to guard. And our guys just did a really good job, in a few days of practice of kind of changing the way we play and slowing down and keeping the ball off the floor less, quit driving in. Because you saw every time you drive in there and leave your feet, what happens? That thing gets beat up against the glass. They're playing volleyball out there. Oh, yeah. And so, when we're that small, you can't do that.
The game started, and you looked like it was going to be a volleyball contest because everything they got was inside. But you stopped that. Finally.
But again, we didn't believe when this game started. We believed in the second half.
Well, listen, Coach, it was a great effort by your kids. I want to compliment you because you got, a lot of teams, you lose your best inside player, your all-league or whatever it is. And
we're not going to do that.
I know you're not. But, some teams would have, Coach, and that's a credit to you and your staff to get these guys to play with. And it's going to pay off. Believe me, it's going to pay off. Listen, I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. And we'll get back to Dayton and we'll get ready. You're going to practice on Christmas Day.
Christmas night, we practice. So we get just a few days.
2 big games. Okay. Thanks for coming out, Coach. We appreciate it. What an effort tonight. I mean, it came, like, I'm not into moral victories either. Never was, never will be.